Don't wake up the Babadook. Make yourself some fried up fluke. We're going to make very beautiful thin pieces of fluke, fried up, sort of scallopini-ish, with homemade tartar sauce, which for some reason fascinated my actor John. Even though he saw me make it, he thought it was the most fabulous thing ever, which was very touching. So what is tartar sauce? Tartar sauce is a great dipping sauce for shrimp, for any fish really, but essentially it's facile, okay? It's mayonnaise, gherkins, capers, lemon, and a tiny bit of Dijon. That's it. Little pepper. So let's make tartar sauce. First of all, I'm going to slice some gherkins, or cornichons, as they say en France. Et voila. 1, 2, my hands are clean, obviously. 3, 4, 5. Thin slices. I practiced this dish out at the house. John was there, and he couldn't believe that I made tartar sauce. It's so silly. Beautiful. Mayonnaise. Plop. This was initially going to be another dish with lemon and caper sauce, but I thought of the lemony sauce going on the fried fish, and it seemed weird, so I made this instead. So it already looks like tartar sauce. Here comes the killer, capers. Don't worry if there's a little bit of liquid in there. It's fine. Gonna put a squirt of lemon in here. You could also put lemon zest. Now it's getting to be like a dip. Oh yeah. Tiny squeeze of Dijon. Just gives it a little depth. Okay, pepper. When you buy it in the squeeze bottle, the pickles are pulverized. Like people use relish in here. Some people make it with relish. I think the pickled pieces should be apparent. Now this is for a piece of fried fish. If I was cooking something more delicate, I would probably slice those little rounds in half or dice them. But this works perfectly in this iteration. I like the look of that. I'm gonna taste it. Oh, it's so good. Trust your instinct. Don't second guess yourself. Trust your instinct. Nice bowl. And this you can make in the morning, unless you want to impress John, then you make it right in front of him. This bowl is too big. I think we need something smaller than this bowl. I'm gonna get a smaller bowl. Homemade tartar sauce to go with fried fish. It's a yummy kind of thing. It is delish. Homemade tartar sauce, what an idea. Homemade tartar sauce, it's right here. Tartar sauce. Now, we're gonna clean it, and we're going to coat the fish and fry it. Pretty quick meal. Does it make a little bit of a mess? Yeah, makes a little bit of a mess because you're frying inside. If it wasn't raining, we'd be frying outside. But there's your tartar sauce. You can put saran wrap on here and put it in the fridge until you're ready to serve. Let's go. Remember, like I said, you don't want to see the Babadook, dook, dook. All you want to do is cook some fluke. How are we gonna do it? We're gonna fry it. Kinda like chicken cutlet, but a little different. Actually, it's not different at all, but the sauce is different. So this is a couple eggs. I just did it looking at this. How much eggs do I need? This makes a hideous mess everywhere, including on your stove. What we're gonna do is flour, egg, breadcrumbs, not egg, flour, breadcrumbs. Because what happens if you do that is you get a sort of paste on the fish that does not take the breadcrumbs. What the flour does is it makes a space in between the egg and the breadcrumbs. So that's what we're gonna do. And then I'm gonna lay them here, and then we're gonna heat up our oil and fry them up, take them to the table, and serve them with the tartar sauce. And as I've always told you, it doesn't matter what wine you drink. If you like red wine, you like sweet wine, with your fish, it doesn't matter. However, again, I would recommend a Chablis, which is Jus de Pierre, juice of the rock, perfect with fish. All right, here we go. Take a piece of fish in your hand. Actually, I'm gonna cut that because I don't like the look of that. I think it looks ugly. Parusi. Take a piece of fish, dredge it in flour so it looks pretty, like it has on a white dress. You can probably do 2 of these at once. Put it into the flour. Make sure it's covered in flour today. Boom, boom, boom. So, incidentally, I forgot to season this. It's okay, I can still do it. But you want to kind of liberally season it before you put the flour on, but that doesn't matter. I find that your fish should not be soaking wet, nor should it be bone dry. It's going to be moist enough to pick up the flour. Okay, here we go. Soak it, like that. And then we go like this, like that. Look how beautiful. You should have seen the mess when I did it in the wrong order. And on my hands, it was amazing. Okay, here we go. Soak it in the egg. An egg wash, it's what it's called. Soak it in the egg. An egg wash, it's called. Soak it in the egg. An egg wash, it's called. Soak it in the egg. An egg wash, it's called. You know, these are pretty good breadcrumbs. Basically, you just put bread in a food processor until it looks like this, or you go to the store and buy it. Do not use the breadcrumbs in the cardboard thing. Any good butcher shop, sometimes fishmonger, will have breadcrumbs that they made from like good bread, which is what you want. These are from Italy, which they make good bread there. I'm not rushing, but I'm not lingering, okay? I'm seasoning this piece, which we did as a whole piece. This is Fluke. You're not making fish and chips. Remember that. You're making fried fish fillets, okay? You don't want a huge fat piece of fish because that's more fish and chips, like a piece of cod. This you want to be very thin and delicate. Dredging, dredging, dredging up the flour. Dredging, dredging, dredging up the flour. Down you go. Press it, press it, press it, pick it up and turn it over. All right? So if anybody that you're serving is expecting fish and chips, they're going to be disappointed. This is not fish and chips. It's a very thin coating. And then you can, if you see any spots, you can do it like that. And then we're going to put this sort of like that. And we're ready to take it to the stage. Conrad! We're gonna fry, don't be afraid. We're not deep frying, we're shallow frying. Makes more mess, but what can you do? Do not use olive oil. The reason is because it has a low smoke point. It starts burning at a lower temperature than grapeseed or vegetable oil. I wouldn't use corn oil or peanut oil because they have a strong flavor, which is great for some food, but not so much for a delicate piece of fluke to keep away the Babadook. Duke. I'll tell you a funny story. When we watched the Babadook, Lynn was in the country and she went to the little cottage where she was sleeping. And we had these big gold capes with the sticks, you know, we wear around the swimming pool like this. And one of them was hanging. On top of it, there was a hat and there was sticks sticking out and also light up disco gloves. So Lynn's like laying in the bed and she looks over towards the door and who's there? The Babadook. It really did look like a Babadook. I have to give it to her. It really did. I'm pouring in grapeseed oil, which is my favorite. What do you do if the oil catches on fire? Number one, you don't panic. If it's still in the pan, you just slide over a top over the pan. It'll go out. You just want to stop it from going to here. If it spills, put the top over the area where it spilled. It needs oxygen. So I know it's scary. I've been in 3. I know it's frightening, but it's real easy to deal with. Now, we saw a cool thing, the fire blanket that is really big and can go over your whole stove. There's also a product on Instagram right now, which is a tiny spray that puts out a huge amount of fires. I'm gonna put in a little piece. Oh, I think we need a little more action. So it's moving, it's shimmering, and I can smell oil, which is a good sign. Now that little piece is fizzing, ever so slightly. But we're gonna put the fish in, you'll see. Excitement will abound. It's essentially 2 minutes per side. Or how about this? When it's brown, turn it over. It's a tiny piece of fish. Let me try another little kernel. Not bad, could be slightly hotter. I want it to make an active noise. I would suggest something dangerous, which is turn off your smoke detector, but you must remember to turn it on. So turn it off and put a thing on your phone 1 hour, turn on smoke detector, because you might get smoke. Oh yeah. See the action around the lid? Oh, paste, look at that. Okay, we're ready. Here we go. Lay it away from you. Don't do this because it can splash on you. It's not gonna kill you, but you don't wanna get a burn. Shake it a little bit and lay it away from you. Now the temperature has gone down because I put something in the oil. Basically, this is it, I'm doing it. So the first time I did it, I never shallow fried anything. I did deep fryers with a machine. It's not that scary, guys. And it's a good way to cook fish if you're scared to cook fish because can you overcook it? I don't think you can overcook it. I'm having a drink while I'm doing it. That's how scared I am. You know, normally I wouldn't drink frying. I like the sound it's making a lot. It might break when we flip it. Do we really care? Do your friends really care? Now, the problem with doing this inside is that if your friends come over, what's the first thing they smell when they walk in? A great recommendation is to use something called Palo Santo, which is means sacred wood. It's a beautiful piece of wood that you burn and then you blow it out and it makes an incredible smoke. It's the main smell of my house. It's not smoke, I mean, it's like incense, but it makes a beautiful smell. If you've never tried it, you should try it. I'm just taking a quick look. Looks really beautiful. And this doesn't look very active over here. So I'm just gonna move the oil slightly. You know, the problem is it's for friends, maybe friends and family, because of this issue. It's à la moment. You have to cook it and serve it. You can keep it in a 180 oven for a little while. Maybe you could air your house out before they came over. I don't know. Oh, it looks beautiful. Oh! It's a very excellent sort of quick meal. Now, turning it over is no joke. I got some spitting there, and it hurt me. Gently flipping it. Oh, it's beautiful. This one's gonna be hard. Ah, don't break. Oh, look at that. Come on. Beautiful. Fried fluke, delicious. Just a few, literally a minute and a half on this side because I was talking and, you know, oh, it's crispy and absolutely fabulous. It's gonna be good. With the tartar sauce. Oh yeah. In my opinion, this is done. I can tell by the way it's moving, also by the rigidity of the piece. Oh, this is perfection, you guys. See how rigid the fish is? That tells me something about its doneness. Turning this off. You know, amazingly, it did not make a big mess. In fact, the battering made a bigger mess. Beautiful. I would take this off the heat. Oh, that's how it happens, right there. That's how it happens. I was moving it with the spatula and it tilted. Now it was nowhere near falling, but that's how it goes down. So don't move it off the heat if it catches on fire. Cover it. Don't try to push it off because that's when you spill the fire. I mean, I'm telling you, I've been there. It's not funny. This is now unusable. You have to wait till it cools down and then you have to throw it out. I wouldn't put it down your garbage disposal. Here is our fish. Beautiful, and it's gonna be served with a delicious homemade tartar sauce. Fish, fluke, no babadook. Here comes the killer, capers. I love capers.